Hey, it's Rachel Adelicia, and this is Investment Piece. And I wanted to talk about goals because it's January, and that's what we do, right? We think about our goals and what we want to do and what we want to achieve in the year. And last year was what it was, and this year is kind of starting off, for me at least, where I'm easing into it. Normally, I have my goals all written before the year, and I jump in and I'm ready to go. And this year, I haven't been. I'm still actually working on my goal list, and not that I don't know what I want my life to look like, but just the little goals that will help me get there, type thing. And I'm the type that not only writes goals for, business and life and different stuff like that, but what I'm gonna wear. Because I feel like that our clothes, again, tell stories and they're so powerful. I have goals for them. And this year I haven't said any at all about what I want to wear. I mean, I have wish lists and I have outfits that I want to wear. But overall, I haven't done any clothing goals in any way, shape, or form, which is really weird for me. But at the same time, it's exciting. It's, a year where I could be anything and wear anything, and that's a lot of freedom. At the end of last year, at the end of 2020, I was on Instagram, because I am, Rachel Adelicia, if you want to follow there, and one of my friends had up one of those word searches. It was like the first four words you see are your words for the new year. And first of all, I kind of like word searches. I like seeing what I pops out for me. And I'm always intrigued by the idea that sometimes, if you read like goal setting books and all those things, they'll tell you that setting a word for the year is actually more powerful than just setting your goals or whatever. If you decide this year you're going to be really grateful, or this year you're going to be really loving, or whatever. So the four words that I saw right away were power, purpose, gratitude, and self-care. And I loved it. Because to be quite frank with you, those go along with not only my personal goals and my business goals, but what I would love to do with my life is be powerful and be purposeful and be grateful and take good care of myself, which would let me take care of the people around me really, really well. And so as I've been thinking about those words, because they did really strike a chord with me, I started thinking about what we could wear this year, because that also really, really talks or speaks to, I should say, those words speak to how I want to dress. And normally when I think of the words powerful, clothing wise, I think of suits. But that's not really just it, right? Like if you think about it, if you have your yoga pants on and you are doing something, anything for me, like I've always wanted to do a handstand in yoga without the wall. I haven't gotten there yet because I have weak shoulders, but that's a different story. But it's a powerful thing, right? To be able to stand on your hands, or it's a powerful thing to be able to punch or lift weights or spin or yoga or dance or whatever it is you do. So even though I think sometimes of powerful being suits, yoga pants are just as powerful. A dress can be just as powerful. Anything that really kind of connects you to who you are and what you want to say, I think is powerful. And so when I think of dressing powerfully, besides suits, we're just going to take suits out of it, I think about what I want to tell you, and I think about what I want to show you, and I think about my ease in doing that, and I think anything that lets me do that is powerful. And then I think about purpose, and for me, purpose always goes back to story, right? It goes back to what story am I telling, or why am I telling this story? There are things that are hard to say. There are conversations that are hard to have, but I think that tying it back to your purpose, like if I decide my purpose here is to tell stories with clothes, then even the things that are hard, if I tie it back to my purpose, like I'm wearing this for a purpose. I'm wearing, even if you're a doctor, you wear your scrubs for a purpose. But I can also wear something fancy and fun, feathers and bows. I don't wear a lot of bows, but you know what I mean? Like you can wear things with purpose. But it also then goes back to being intentional, that I'm going to be intentional with how I put my clothes on. I'm not just going to throw things on. And then I think about self-care. And self-care when you get dressed, for me, is about wearing things that make you feel good. So that could be anything, really. I mean, I have dresses that are way too fancy that I put on a regular basis because they make me feel good. It makes me feel good to wear them. But also things that fit well, that zipper well. I've had to do a few alterations lately, like buttons broke and different things. And that's a form of self-care, is that when you put it on, you know it's going to make you feel good, but it's also going to fit well and it's not going to break. It's really, really important. Also, then, a form of self-care could be cleaning out your closet, which I probably need to do, and getting rid of the things that don't make you feel good or that don't serve a purpose or that don't serve your power. You know, saying no is a form of self-care. And I think that sometimes as a woman, I have a hard time saying no. Even I have a hard time saying no shopping wise sometimes. Like, even if I know that's not right for me, if I'm getting pressured, I sometimes feel like, oh, okay. So practicing self-care when we shop and when we dress, and how we look and how we present ourselves to ourselves, not ourselves to ourselves, how we present ourselves to the world, and making sure we feel good and wearing clothes that are well taken care of and all those things. And then I think about gratitude. And that one for me, when I started thinking about gratitude, like how could I express gratitude with my clothes? And again, it does go back to the care, you know, taking care of your things. That's very, very important. But other than that, I think sometimes gratitude in dressing is almost connected again to our power and our purpose, because you're grateful for what you have. Which for me, since I have a lot of options, a lot of gratitude in my dressing could be re-wearing things over and over again, or going back to favorite outfits, or trying new outfits with pieces I have and not feeling like I have to buy everything. So, while I will probably set like strict goals, I shouldn't say strict goals, but like more defined, clear goals, I'm excited to play around with those 4 words for my dressing and for the blog. So, power, purpose, self-care, and gratitude. And how can we dress those things, and how can we show those things? I'm excited. I would love to hear about your New Year's goals. I would love to hear about what you want to wear and what you want to see and what you want to talk about and what you want to do with how you dress. Because I do think that it's powerful, and I do think that's part of our purpose, is how we dress. And I do think it's a way to take care of ourselves. So there we go. Yeah, it also always comes back to clothes and what we choose to put on. And I'm so excited, and I want to know everything about that. And I want to hear about your holiday and all those things. So yeah, let me know.